Yes, unless anybody else wants to.
Nope.
No. We were talking about it earlier, and I feel like we
We generally have it, but I think we're missing some details that you'll be able to help.
Yeah, I just need
Okay.
to pull out my pen. Yeah.
Huh. That's not my game notes. That's my wellness survey.
Oh.
Let's see. Where are my game notes? There they are. Okay. Oh, okay. That reminds me, I was going to do a thing too.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it in a minute. Okay. I took a lot more notes this time since
You are
I
volunteering.
realized I might have to. Okay. So we got this note from
Victoria?
Victoria, yes, I was gonna say the wife of the man who was killed,
Yep.
Victoria Hall. And we were planning to go see her, but it said like kind of at your convenience. So we decided to go the next morning because it was kind of late at the time. And the next morning, Sheriff Jenkins arrived again, and unfortunately, Albin's body had been discovered. And Albin was kind of this simple person who I think he'd been guarding the house when Charlie was found. And when we got to the site where he seemed to have died, he appeared to have fallen from the sea cliffs where the lighthouse was. That's about 100 feet up, and looked like the tide was out when he fell and it was just coming in now. We spoke to Jaden, the boy who found him. He said he found him at first light, which means that the body would have fallen, that he would have fallen between midnight and sunrise. We talked a little bit more to people, finding out just more about Albin that we could. He kind of scavenges trinkets and sells them to people who are traveling through town. He's got a shack at the edge of town, and the school teacher, Miss Lindsay, just kind of looks out for him. His parents have been dead for years, and so the town would just kind of like take care of him, that kind of thing. We talked to the lighthouse keeper, who said that he heard two men arguing around midnight, and he saw a man who was kind of like average size. Albin was a really big guy, so it wouldn't have been him. So we saw this kind of average sized man heading back down to the wharf, and the lighthouse keeper reported that he had this stooped over hunchback. The lighthouse keeper didn't know if anybody else would have wanted to hurt Albin, but he did find out that there was something that he had found that he was excited about. So we found some other kind of general clues, and decided to go speak with Miss Lindsay, who, and she said that Albin never would have just fallen off, like that wouldn't have happened. He found a green stone when wandering near the Gray Peaks and asked her not to tell anybody. She thinks it was probably in a case that he always carried with him, and that was not on the body when we found it. So it seems like somebody maybe took the case. It's possible they saw the green gem along with some other treasures. From there, we went to talk to Victoria. Her house had been broken into. Luckily, she and Ernie were not at home. It looks like their things were just rifled through rather than anything actually being stolen. We found out the information that most of the people who work out of the wharves are going to have scars on their hands and stooped backs, which means that there are a whole lot of people who match the only physical description we have of the person we suspect so far. Went down to the wharf, talked to some people, found out that Albin would sometimes go down there with Raphael, with a man named Noah Gill, who usually was down at the Yule's pub and then kind of wandering around afterwards, always seemed kind of to just sort of be an angry kind of person. He'd been heard to say he was going into the mountains with Connor. We checked out Albin's shack, which was near the Gray Peaks. Basically, it was just too small for there to, we could tell pretty much immediately that, so nobody went through it. Went to the Yule's Pub, found out that Noah was there until about midnight last night. I think we found out about, we didn't speak to, but I think we found out about someone named Connor Burns, who's kind of the ranger who protects people who go into the forest. His wife died in a monster attack about 5 years ago, but she was a traveler like us. She arrived there about 12 years ago. So he left a note for Connor with his son, Jack, and Ernie, Charlie's son, has agreed to take us into the foothills of the Great Peaks, I think to where he had last gone with his father, if I'm remembering that correctly.
And do we remember, that's where we left off, right, Susan?
Yes, I believe so.
Do we remember what do we think Noah Gill? Do we think Noah Gill's like a suspect or something, or would know something more?
I think we were thinking that maybe he was a suspect, maybe just because he had been like wandering around midnight. I can't remember if there was any reason other than that.
I think you know that he's a longshoreman.
Okay.
Is that a hunchback like all the other ones?
Right.
I mean, all the other ones, yeah, there aren't that many, but as a general rule, the people who do the hard labor around the wharf, tend to have the suit posture. But it's mostly the longshoremen who are basically the ones who offload and load the ships. And there's not that many of them. You guys haven't got an exact count, but you don't think it's more than a few.
Should narrow it down quite easily.
Okay. Anything else? Any other questions you guys have, or anything that you wanted to cover before heading into the Great Peaks?
I don't think so.
No, good.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Ernie leads you relatively confidently into the foothills. Every now and then he'll like pipe up with a question that you would expect from an 11-year-old, like, "What's it like where you're from?" and what do kids do? And, things like that, kind of semi annoying questions. As you guys go into the mountains, it's fairly bare. There's a tree here or there, but it's pretty barren and stony. You don't exactly know how Ernie's navigating either. Maybe there are landmarks that he's familiar with, or he's been up here enough times. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
The cat's ruining it, though.
I know, right?
As you guys are following along behind Ernie, you look up and you see what must be a bird with just an incredibly enormous wingspan, like a 40, 50 foot wingspan, like truly monstrous sized bird, just kind of floating on the air currents. And you see it pass behind one of the mountains, and that kind of helps you realize the perspective of this thing, that it's just this absolutely massive bird, and it kind of soars away from you, and you realize that if that thing, had landed or gotten close, like it would eat a whole person in a single beak chomp. You're cruising along through the mountains, and Ernie stops and he kind of cocks his ear. Why don't you guys all give me a perception check, please?
You're so perceiving.
Do I just tell you?
Yes.
Okay, 21 total.
Oof, very good.
10.
10.
7.
7.
13 for me.
13. Okay, so Claire, you kind of see Ernie like cock his head like this. You bend your ear and listen, and you hear something that sounds like a kind of rhythmic rumbling noise coming from kind of up ahead of you and to the right. It sounds like.
Well, I'm gonna ask everybody if they, or I'm gonna ask Ernie, what is that? Do you know what that is? What are you listening for?
Ernie looks over and he's like, "Oh, miss, you here? I don't know. I don't know that I've heard anything like that before. We should go check it out." And Ernie just takes off.
Oh, great.
Unarmed Ernie. Oh wait, no,
He's got a sling. He's got a sling.
The small child whose
Great.
mother trusted us with him.
Are we responsible for him?
I would say so.
Yeah, well,
I
he's
think
our
that's the
only,
deal we made.
he's our only bet in the, we have to go. We have to run after Ernie.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys take off after Ernie, and you see him stop, and he's looking at what looked like to be a kind of cluster of boulders. And as you guys look longer and longer, you know how obviously when you look at like a cloud, you can kind of make shapes in your mind and whatnot. As you're looking at this cluster of boulders, it resolves into the shape of a creature that's basically humanoid, and it's laying down on the ground, and it seems to be sleeping. Its skin is this pebbly, rocky thing, and it is huge. It's about 20 feet long. This creature would definitely be a giant where it's standing, and you see its chest kind of rhythmically falling and rising. And Claire, you realize that this is a giant with some degree of sleep apnea. It's a giant laying there having a little bit of a nap.
We can forgo the breathing treatments though.
Yeah.
As Ernie sees this, he kind of backs up and he bumps into you as you guys are coming up closer.
Ernie, you've never seen anything like this before?
He's just like wide-eyed. He looks up at you and he just mutely shakes his head.
Well, I'm concerned because we don't know if this guy is friendly or not, and we may not want to wake him up.
And I agree with you, Lorelei. I think that
Whether
this
people are friendly or not, they tend not to be too terribly happy when their rest is disturbed.
And they're surprised by several people who have woken them up.
So
Of course, when you sleep in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, you got to wonder what you're going to expect. But when you're that big, I guess you don't worry.
So Ernie, can we just pass this thing, or do we have to kind of, can we go under it, around it, or through it?
You can go around it pretty easily.
All right, I think we should probably just leave it.
Okay. You guys kind of tug Ernie away quietly, kind of tiptoe around the sleeping giant. And Ernie kind of finds another landmark and follows it off. You guys have been going for a couple of hours. By this point, it's kind of mid-morning. You're starting to get into a little bit more of the kind of mountainous area up from the foothills. Every now and then Ernie will find like a little pond, and he'll say, "Oh, this is one of the places where my dad would prospect," or he'd find a little creek and he'd be like, "Oh, I remember panning for gold here." But none of those locations look particularly relevant, I suppose, or interesting to you all. So you guys are cruising around, and you're just minding your own business, and Jean-Luc, you feel something waft your head. I was about to say your hair, and then I remembered.
Oh.
Jean-Luc has no hair.
I dressed up like him on purpose.
Oh,
So.
yeah.
Cosplay.
You feel something, some air buffet your head, and you look up and you see a creature that has flown past you. Apparently, it's trying to attack you and cause injury. It's this bird-like thing. It's here we go. It's got stag's horns growing out of its head, and it's got a pretty big wingspan and some vicious, sharp-looking talons. And it kind of wheels around for another pass to attack you. Everybody roll initiative for me.
Was this the same thing that we saw?
No,
earlier?
this is a different thing.
Oh, cool. There's more than one.
Yeah. Well, this is a small
Great.
thing. That thing had like a 50-foot wingspan. It was
Gotcha,
like
okay, well, that's something anyway.
a truck size.
Okay,
And just call them out when you get them.
7.
where do I
7?
see?
Initiative bonus should be in the middle of the character sheet at the top.
Mine's a 10.
In a square, yours is 0.
Okay, then 4,
Wow,
yeah.
slow group. Lorelai?
What did you say, initiative?
Yeah.
Yes, so D20 and then add your initiative, which is basically your dexterity bonus.
Dexterity?
Yep.
Am I adding to your dexterity?
Your dexterity bonus.
Okay, so 14 plus 9.
Ooh, savior.
Oh, there it is, okay. I was overlooking it because it's 0.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So as this thing dive bombs, Jean-Luc, Lorelai, you have the reaction speed and you have the chance to act first. What would you like to do?
What am I carrying with me?
You've got your rapier and your dagger, or your 2 daggers, I suppose.
Okay,
And your
so the rapier is like a long sword kind of thing.
exactly right. Yes.
Okay, so so as it swings overhead, I just go like this and swing it at it, and it makes it back off.
Okay, great. Are you trying to injure it or just keep it away?
No, I'm just trying to keep it away.
Okay, great. Yeah, so it's kind of wheeling around right now for another pass. So when it dive bombs again, you'll get a chance to kind of wave at it. Claire, what would you like to do?
I was just gonna look up. Okay. All I have is my sling. Well, I have a mace, but
Yeah, sling's a very effective
Yeah.
distance weapon. You also have Sacred Flame, which I believe you can use to damage a creature at distance. Let me just pull it up here real
oh, I
quick.
forgot about those.
Right.
Flame-like radiance descends on a creature you can see within range, which is 60 feet. This thing's only about 15 feet away.
Excellent.
So you can call down a bolt of radiant flame on this thing if you like.
I would.
Okay, great. So it's going to try to dodge with a dexterity saving throw, and it fails. So you roll the damage, which is 1d8, which is little diamond guy.
Oh my God. And I look at
What do you add it to?
This you don't add anything. It's just straight up
Oh.
the dice roll.
6.
6. Nice. Okay, the thing gets blasted by this radiant burning energy, and some of its its feathers get burned and sheared off. It kind of cries out. Jean-Luc.
I exclaim and say, I curse and say a word that is not conducive to network television. Get bleeped out. And I would try to fire my phaser at it.
Alrighty, roll to hit.
And that's
Say,
the D8 as well? Yeah.
That's a D20. That's the 20-sided dice.
what's your 20?
Really?
He knows.
Okay.
Because you got to hit before you do damage is the thing.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
3.
3. Yeah, you're
Why so bad?
distracted by this thing. Your phaser shot goes off into the sky. This creature dives. Lorelai, you flail with the rapier to distract it, and that makes it hard. It's going to try to hit Jean-Luc anyways, and it misses badly. Kind of tries to dive bomb, and then wheels around to go for another pass. And Jane?
Okay, so the spells, the readied spells, is that something that
Your
I
prepared
select?
spells,
Prepared spells, thank you.
Yeah, I actually changed them
Okay.
for you, but if you want to change them yourself, that's fine.
No, it's fine, I see that there's some marked, I just want to see.
Yeah.
if there's-
So what I prepared for you is a little bit different. I prepared comprehend languages,
Uh-huh,
fog cloud,
Yep.
sleep, charm person, and Tasha's hideous laughter.
Oh, I have my old character sheet. I don't
Oh.
have,
Well, I'll send you this one.
thank you. You probably sent it to me and I just didn't save it in my
Uh-huh.
folder.
Yep.
Okay, what does fog cloud do?
Yeah, fog cloud. Okay, hang on. I gotta
Yeah.
do one thing at a time. Okay, that's coming to you.
Thank you.
Fog cloud summons a area of fog that obscures vision. So it's a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point within range.
Okay. So if I were to do that, does that mean that we would all also be kind of enveloped in this fog and have?
Well, you can put it wherever you want within 120 feet. So you
Okay.
could summon it around the bird creature thing. You could summon it between you and it. You could summon it around you guys.
Okay,
You could summon it away from you that you could run into it.
okay. Let me think, I'm just trying to get to the new one here. Okay, yeah, yeah, so you said 20-foot radius?
Uh-huh.
Let's try to do that around, well, I don't know if I wanna confuse it and make it, potentially more,
Angry.
yeah. You know what? It worked before. I'm gonna try casting sleep on this thing.
Okay, great. So roll your 8-sided dice 5 times.
Okay.
Just use your other ones.
I'm sorry. So I'm up to 12 so far. Okay, sorry, what?
I don't know. You haven't been telling me you got to do it.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm up to
Okay.
12 so far.
Okay.
16. 24. And one more, I think. 28.
Okay, that is just barely enough. It had 27 hit points. So you, your hands go through this arcane gesture, hurl this sleepy energy at the thing, and it falls asleep. You realize that when it hits the ground, it's probably going to wake up again.
Oh,
But that's okay.
I bought it some time.
It plummets out of the sky, crashes into the ground. It takes 8 points of falling damage in that process, but it does get jolted back awake.
Okay, well, now those of us who have shorter range weapons.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's on the ground about 15 feet away from you. Lorelei.
Okay, so I'm very concerned about the boy being a mother. That's the first thing I want to do is make sure that he's behind me and away from all of the danger.
Okay.
So when this thing comes by, I think what I'm gonna sick of being Mr. Nice Guy and trying to save the darn thing. So I'm going to take one of those knife things and I'm just gonna hurl it at it and try to hit it.
Okay, great. Yeah. So roll your d20, roll the hits. And you're going to add your dagger to this, which is +4.
8 + 4, 12.
12. Okay. So it's on the ground, but it's still kind of doing its thing. Yeah, okay, you hit it. It's kind of ungainly on the ground. It tries wobbling out of the way. But you nail it, and then roll your 4-sided dice, that little pyramid guy. And add 2 to that.
And I'm going for the number on the bottom, right?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, 2.
2. Okay, 2 + 2. So that's another 4 points of damage. All right, your dagger sticks in the thing. It kind of scrawls, flops around with its damaged wings. Claire.
Well, at this point, I could just use my mace and I guess bash its head in.
Yeah, you want to walk up to it and crush it?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's sad, but yeah. 13.
13 hits it. And roll your damage.
If something tries to kill you, you just got to go ahead and try to kill it right back.
Right? Especially a horrible monster like this.
Right.
3.
3. 3 is gonna miss. Yeah, you walk up to the thing and it's kind of flapping around. And you're like, oh, not quite sure you want to crush it with this face.
Oh, God. You just-
Jean-Luc.
Come on, man.
And I say, I bellow, one of these days, this blasted phaser has to work.
What's the point of being from the future if your weapons aren't improved?
Not now.
Oh, I can't see it.
2.
So bad you just disappeared.
He's effectively distracting the thing by just zapping the ground in front of it. Okay, the creature rights itself, and it disengages from Claire. It kind of hops around to avoid your mace, and it takes to the air, and it looks like it's flying away. It flies about 30 feet away. Jane.
I think, ooh, yeah, I think now's the time for some fog cloud, maybe between it and us, so that hopefully it won't find us again.
Okay, great. Yeah. So you conjure this ball of fog and obscure yourself from the creature. Okay, yeah, you guys see it fly off on the other side of the fog cloud, unable to find you and apparently unwilling to continue to attack as you damage it. So you have scared off the horrible stag-horned bird creature.
Hooray.
Frick was that?
And Claire, we didn't even have to kill it.
Oh, well. Maybe we'll find its body somewhere soon.
It's got my knife though.
Ernie, oh yeah, it took your dagger stuck in it. Ernie says, "Oh, parry time, dangerous little things."
Oh, little. Okay.
What is it? Harry what now?
Periton,
Periton.
Very time.
stag bird monster thing.
Hmm.
Okay, Ernie leads you around to another potential prospecting. Yeah, so you guys are kind of cruising around, and you feel and you hear briefly a rumble, 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 and then suddenly the earth beneath you starts to shake. Looking up at the tallest D gray peak, you look up and it looks like there's a crack that forms in it. You see a brief flash of green energy emerge from the peak as the ground beneath you shakes. You hear some crashing, some breaking sounds, earthquake lasts. It's difficult to know how long, maybe a minute or so, and it eventually stops. You guys are basically fine. You were out in the open. Nothing fell on you.
That's alarming.
Energy.
Now
have-
what?
Sort of connection to the green gems.
Yeah, perhaps it's where they're made.
Could be.
Do we want
Or were formed? That's
Yeah.
what forms
Where
them.
people typically find them. So it is possible,
to? Mm-hmm.
Especially if that's where he would go mining for them, right?
right?
What's our little boy's name?
Ernie.
Ernie.
Is that where you guys used to go?
Ernie says, "Yeah, well, we would go all up into the mountains."
Have you ever seen something like that happen out here before?
Ernie thinks about it. And he's like, "Yeah, we get earthquakes every now and then."
What about that green glow? Did you ever see that before, Ernie?
I ain't never been in the mountains during an earthquake, so no, I haven't seen a green glow before.
Okay.
Well, do we think we need to go in that direction then?
Toward the explosion.
Well, it might be where the green gems are.
What will we learn if we find the green gems?
Well,
don't-
we know that Alban found one, and we suspect that might be why he was killed. This is also near where Ernie had gone with his father before he was killed. So it's possible we'll find something that will give us some more information about what and who was causing the murders.
Clues.
Right. I mean,
Like delightful clues.
murders have to be after these stones. If we have some stones, then maybe they'll come to us.
That is a thought. They might come to us to try to kill us.
Well,
Hopefully we won't.
be prepared.
We'll be more prepared, yes.
Maybe if you could figure out how to use your phaser.
All right, I knew where that was.
I think we should go towards it.
All right, I say we cautiously go towards
I
it.
agree. I agree. Caution is warranted, but this is, after all, our goal is to.
And Ernie, don't run ahead again. Make sure you stay with us.
Okay. Yeah, he seems a little more, alarmed and willing to toe the line now, after the Periton attack. Okay, you guys head in the direction of the Great Peak. You go probably about another hour or so. It's getting on lunchtime, and you see a large crack in the ground. It's about not very wide, maybe 10, 15 feet wide. It kind of goes, pretty far in either direction. It looks like a very new crack as well. You looking down, it looks maybe 15, 20 feet. And you see a figure stuck about 10 feet down. It's unconscious, and it's pretty small, like a 3 foot tall creature. It has gray skin. And I've got a picture here. Looks kind of like this, pointy ears. And she's laying there on like a shelf of rock that's about 10 feet below you on the other side of the crevasse.
The other side?
Oh, you can't even throw a rope or anything.
Well, depends on how deep it is. Sure.
She's
on time.
but she's in it. She's
Like
down
on
in
a
it.
ledge. Yeah, so probably what
Okay.
happened is like this crack opened up and she fell down on the ledge and knocked herself
Okay.
out.
But it's about 10, 15 feet wide, you said.
Yeah, the crack,
Yeah.
the crevasse is about 10, 15 feet wide, and then she's
Okay.
about 10 feet down. So
It's
on a
difficult to get,
hypotenuse,
difficult to get to her.
How
Um,
deep is the crack?
The crack itself, looking down, it's probably about 20 feet.
Okay.
And is it too long to go around?
It's not too long to go around. You don't really see, where it ends, but you can't imagine it goes that far. Being a new,
Okay, so we're not. This is not impassable for us.
yeah, you'll just need a detour if you want it to go around.
Okay.
And Claire, give me a medicine check if you would.
Can lower someone down with the rope.
Mm-hmm. 12.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, you don't know why this person is unconscious, but if it is a head wound or something like that, that those can be a little bit dangerous to leave. You also do have a spell called Healing Word, which allows you to heal from a distance if you wanted to try to heal her without having to get close to her.
Okay. And remind me sanctuary again. Please.
Yeah.
If it's not important right now, we can wait.
No, that's fine. That basically prevents a creature from being attacked.
Okay.
It's a quick question to everyone. Does anyone have any rope?
That was going to be my question as well.
I don't.
I think for those of you that have packs, your packs might have some. Let
Even
me
my
double check.
scholars pack?
No, probably not your scholars
Okay,
pack.
that's what I thought.
Nerd.
Mine.
Says the DM.
Did we tie somebody up? We did tie
We
somebody
did.
up.
We did. Good.
I have a
Yes, I totally
burglar's
have
pack.
That's right.
I have a burglar's pack. What do I have in
Okay,
there?
the burglar's pack has 50 feet of rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. So yeah, I like Healing Word. That's a good thing because then we can wake this little thing up and
And throw her a rope if
Well,
Throw a rope.
if
yeah,
she needs it.
yeah.
All right.
or in some other way help her once she's able to communicate with any luck.
Okay, great. So go ahead and roll a D4. That's a little pyramid guy. And add your wisdom.
And add my. And what do I add again?
Your wisdom bonus.
Oh, there it is. Oh, God, 4.
Or okay, but you also have, since you're a disciple of life, you have the extra from that, so that's 6 total. So you cast this golden light out of your hand. It goes across the crevasse, hits this little female creature. You see her eyes open, and she kind of gasps and sits up.
Hello.
Hey!
She looks a little bit startled and looks over at you. She gets to her feet. She kind of gives a tentative, like a kind of okay smile, and then she talks at you in some language that you all don't understand. It sounds like.
Cast comprehend. Does anybody else have comprehend languages? I'm down a couple spells.
No.
No? Okay, I cast comprehend languages.
I don't know. Apparently I know Latin.
Okay. Okay. She says, "Thank you very much. My name is Tata. I'm really glad you found me and helped me."
You're very welcome, Tana. Did you fall because of the earthquake?
Yeah, the earthquake happened. This crack opened up, and I fell and I hit my head.
Oh dear. Would you like us? We have some rope here. We'll be happy to help you try to get out of there.
Yes, please. That would be great. Please throw me the rope.
Okay. Do you think you can manage if we throw it from here? Or would you like to wait for us to come around so that we're closer to you?
I think I can get it if you throw it over here.
All right. Person with rope.
All right, Lorelai. Okay. Lorelai tosses the rope across. Tana grabs it and she scampers up. She's pretty small, so easy to scale rope when you're 3 feet tall. She gets up and plops down on the ground next to you. Says, "Thank you very much."
You're welcome, Tana. How did you come to be here when the earthquake happened?
I was just out scavenging for rocks.
Do you stay nearby? Do you live near here?
Yes, I live in the town of Gambit. She points up the mountain towards the Gray Peak where you guys are more or less headed.
Gambit.
Is there a town? The town is in the Great Peaks?
Yeah, it's the town of Gambit. It's where all my people are.
Oh.
I'm a gnome.
That's very
Oh.
nice. How do you do?
How do you do? Thank you for helping me. You've been very nice.
We are going towards the Great Peaks. We're interested in some green stones that some other people like us might have been looking for recently. Do you know anything about such things?
Give me a persuasion check, Jane.
Okay. Oh my God. Five.
5. Okay. No, I don't know anything about the green stones.
Can someone else try that? Can someone else try, or is it?
It's difficult because like she's having to translate through, so it's gonna be influenced by Jane basically.
Got it.
And I am apparently not very persuasive.
Talking amongst ourselves, do we think that we should ask if we can go to her town really quick and look around?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. It would be nice.
Let's see. Why not? Let's also ask Ernie if he knows anything about gnomes or Gambit.
Ernie looks at you with these huge eyes. He's like, "Yo, what is this thing?"
Her name is Tana. She's very friendly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so okay, Jane's still talking to it. She can talk to it for as long or for a certain amount of time though, right?
Yeah, I think it's like an hour maybe.
Okay.
But so should we ask Jane to?
Yeah.
As soon as Jane's finished taking her very diligent notes, she will do that. All right. Well, Tana, we're new to the area and very interested in learning about this place. Is Gampit the kind of town where you might be able to take us and people might be interested in meeting and speaking with us?
She kind of thinks about it for a second, and then she's like, "Yes, tell me, I can take you there if you want to go."
All right. If everyone's in agreement, we'd be very happy to accompany you and say hello.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. She turns around
Thanks,
and
Jane.
leads you all around the crack. It's a pretty substantial detour. It's maybe an hour to get around the thing. So who knows what would have happened to Tana in that time. You guys progress up into the mountains. The trees get progressively more and more stunted. The bushes get fewer and far between. The stone becomes this kind of slate gray, shale kind of thing. It's a little bit tricky even on your footing. You guys are cruising up and coming around a boulder is a stooped human.
Hmm.
Here he is. He's even though he's kind of stooped, he's a young looking guy, and he's got this expression on his face that's just pissed as hell.
Nope.
He is obviously really unhappy about seeing you. You see that he's dressed in like just really basic clothing, very weathered looking, and in both of his hands are these green gems, and there is this green energy pulsing from them to him, and he says, "You ain't never gonna take me back to the town. I ain't answering for what I did."
Oh, what did you do?
"You ain't never gonna find out." And he extends one of the green gems, and a burst of magical energy emanates from it. Roll initiative again.
Everybody?
Everybody. Well, if you would just want to stand there and let him attack you, that's also acceptable.
Ah,
Oh, my.
wow. 9-0.
You gotta keep your dice under control.
I know, I'm trying to find the thing.
I know. It's not under control
Just don't
either.
hurl them. Just drop
I'm hurling
it.
them.
Just
I
drop
am
it.
just dropping them, but I'm rolling bad. I am doing that exact same thing, and the problem is I'm rolling badly. So I'm going to
Oh.
figure out another strategy.
Okay.
Because,
Because that matters.
superstition.
Right. Yeah. That'll affect your random number
Because as a
generator.
scientist, I don't understand randomization.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
13, do I add it to anything?
Your dexterity bonus.
Dexterity, 13 and 14.
So yeah, your bonus is plus
27.
2 for dexterity. So 15 total.
Oh, God.
Okay, Claire?
0.
0.
Zero? Do you have a
Nice.
-1?
Yes.
Jean-Luc,
13.
get those bad rolls out of the way. Jane?
4.
4. Okay, great. Man, that's impressive. You guys.
We picked the perfect day to go into the scary mountains and look for a murderer. We're all we're all on our A game today.
Okay, this fellow with the green gems sparkling with energy hurls a bolt of fire. Let's see, who's most dangerous? Probably at Jean-Luc.
All right.
And he manages to hit. So, sorry, let me on my damage. 1d10 fire damage. Wow. Okay, Jean-Luc, you take 6 points of fire damage.
Oh dear.
This burning, hot flame strikes into you. Okay, Lorelei, you're up next. So this guy, like I said, he walked around a boulder. He's probably like 20 feet away from you.
All right. I have leather armor
Yes, you do. You have a little bit of armor that helps protect you in a
that
fight.
helps protect me. So, and I don't know what thieves' tools are.
Those are like lock picking tools and that kind of thing.
Oh, those
to-
kinds of things. Okay. So I think, well, I still have my rapier.
Yes.
So I think that I'm just going to go and swath at him and see if I can hit
Stab
him.
him. Okay, great. You head up and stab him. Roll to hit.
I've rolled twice, so why can't I see these tonight? 9 and 10.
Okay. And you add 4 to that, so that's 13. Okay, so you successfully hit this guy once. So roll your damage, which is the D8, the diamond shaped one.
A diamond shaped one. Six.
6 points of damage. Wow. Okay. Yeah. You stab him through, and he kind of crumples and tries to arg. Jean-Luc.
Question for the, what do we call you? The moderator?
He's the game.
DM.
Yeah,
Oh,
Dungeon Master. Are we at risk of killing him?
He was just. Yeah.
We
You-
do want information from him.
So
But
you
if we-
can. So the last, whoever like does the last blow that drops him can choose to do it just to knock him unconscious and not to kill him.
Okay, yeah. In the like the role-playing games I play, there are these unkillable characters because they're important to the story.
Mm,
So just trying to see what happens.
understood.
Anyway, okay. Well, and how much damage does he? How many hit points does he, or how much damage? Does he have?
It's difficult to know. Lorelei stabbed him and he seemed to take some damage from it, but he's still doing pretty good.
Okay. Well, I am going to once again, because I don't have any other weapons, use my phaser, which will probably heal him.
It'll cauterize the wound.
Right? It's like, oh, thank you. So,
Do your thing.
18.
Ah,
Yes.
Hey, finally hit.
Oh.
Now since you haven't hit before, we should talk about this. So you can you have 2 spell slots that you can use to cast spells, or you can use it to deal extra damage when you hit with an attack. So you can use one of those spell slots and do 2 more D8, so 2 more 8-sided dice of damage with this attack if you want. You don't have to do that.
This won't kill him, will it? We don't think.
Well, if it will, you have the choice to deal non-lethal damage.
Yeah, let's do the extra damage.
Okay, so that's going to be 3 D8, 3 8-sided dice.
3.
8.
So roll it, 3 times basically, and add it up.
Yeah, and add it all up.
Watch it be a 3.
No, you got 3
1,
chances.
1, 1, 1. 7. Bastard. Like, all my rage is being 5. 6, 12. 17.
Whew, man.
I've had a lot of pent up anger over
This
my
blaster.
poor phaser skills.
And nobody really believes
Sorry.
that.
Yeah, you hit him dead center. You channel this power through that blast, and you just tear this massive burn into him. He screams, "Ah!" and kind of stumbles back. Seriously injured. Okay. As he does that, oh yeah. Jean-Luc, an arrow is suddenly sprouting out of your neck.
Ah!
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
You take 16 points of damage. So you are dropped to 0. You fall unconscious. So you guys just see Jean-Luc, this arrow just hit him in the neck. Blood goes all over the place. He drops back on his back, unconscious and dying. You guys look up and you see on top of a nearby boulder, this guy in this kind of gray cloak, looks very kind of weather beaten. Actually, I might have a picture of him. Yep. Kind of, this kind of scruffy, these like really intense eyes. And he's got a longbow that he just released an arrow from. So Jean-Luc is unconscious and dying. Tana does some kind of mystical incantation, and this guy that just popped up gets a blast of sand across his face that does some damage.
Whoa.
Looks like she is some kind of spellcaster. And Ernie fires a sling off at the guy with the green gems and misses. Jane.
Okay. This is awesome because I'm out of spells and my only weapon is that quarterstaff,
Staff.
which isn't any use against basically a sniper archer.
Oh,
So,
before I forget, roll
yeah.
your make your portent rolls.
What are my portent rolls?
That's with your diviner, so you get to roll those 20. You get to roll 20-sided dice twice,
Right.
and you can substitute those rolls for anybody else's.
Nice. Okay. 17.
Okay.
And 3.
Okay, great. So can you make a note of your character sheet?
Yeah. So 7. Oh, either one of those. That's one that I can use.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. So for example, for that crit that just
Yeah.
dropped Jean-Luc, you could say that's not a 20, that's a 3.
Gotcha.
Or if somebody's missing, you can say that's not a whatever, it's a 17.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Can't do it now, probably.
Can't do it now, right?
But okay. So I think what I am going to do is run over to Jean-Luc,
Okay.
and I have a healing potion.
Ah, you do,
that
absolutely.
I
You're gonna
am
give it to him?
going to use on him.
Okay, fantastic. You need a D4.
I do need a D4. 5.
5? Okay, nice.
I rolled a 4 plus 1.
Okay, great.
Thank
You pour this potion. Jean-Luc, you wake up sputtering as this healing kind of infuses you, and you regain consciousness and are no longer dying. Nice. Okay, Claire.
So I want to try to use my sling, right? Like it's like a sling with like a rock, and I can like try to get the gray guy.
Okay, the guy with the longbow.
Yeah,
Great. Okay, go and roll that to hit.
Oh,
because
sorry.
the guy with the green he's still on the ground, kind of like flailing around a bit.
Yeah, he's injured, but he's still up.
Okay. So that's 9.
9 is not going to do it. You hurl the rock, and he kind of ducks behind the boulder, and it pings off there.
Dang it.
Okay, back to the top. The sorcerer guy. Let me see here. Okay, he points at the sorcerer guy points at Lorelei and says, "Walk away." Lorelei, you're gonna make a wisdom saving throw.
So the sorcerer is the guy with the bow,
The hunch,
right?
no, the hunchback.
Oh, okay.
The hunchback guy is the sorcerer. Laura, you're gonna need to make a wisdom saving throw. You have a -1 to this, so roll your d20.
12.
12 is just enough. That's exactly what his spell save DC is. So you feel this magical compulsion briefly overcome you to just like walk away. It's fine. It'll be okay. Just walk away. And you're able to overcome it and fight it off. Okay, Lorelai, that's you.
What's me?
Your turn.
Oh, to decide what to do?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'll show him. What happened to the arrow that was in Jean-Luc's neck?
It's still there.
Oh,
It's just not bleeding.
all right. We may have to deal with that later. Well, I still have another dagger.
Yeah, you're facing this guy with the green gemstones. He's right in front of you. You still have your rapier as well.
Oh, I still have my rapier too as well. Okay. So do I need to stop one or the other more importantly? I mean, is one more, I got to make a choice between the two of them. So the
Right.
gemstone guy is closer to me.
Yeah, he's right next to you because you ran up and stabbed him last time.
Right. So I think that I want to see if I can knock him out.
Wait,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought that Jean-Luc hit that guy with the phaser and knocked him out.
No, hurt him badly, burned him badly.
Oh, okay, so it was
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that.
he burned him, and he kind of took a stagger back because it was so
Gotcha.
much damage.
Oh,
But
okay.
he's still conscious.
He's still up. Okay, I
Mhm.
didn't realize that. Thank you.
So if I'm close enough to him, I want to see if I can just like take the back of my dagger and just clunk him over the head and get him knocked out.
Look,
Okay, sure. Yeah. So roll to hit with your dagger. Or you got your rapier in hand. You can just use that.
Yeah. 3.
3. Okay, yeah. He kind of ducks away from you, seeing that you're trying to clock him in the head, and you miss. Jean-Luc, you are on the ground but conscious.
Bloody hell. Okay.
Can I ask Jean-Luc a question?
Sure.
Doesn't that phaser have stun?
It
Yes.
should. I don't know in this game though, does
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you guys basically any of the damage that you do can lead to them being knocked unconscious. So the mechanic is that you do damage to them until they get to 0 hit points, and at that point you decide if they're dying or if they're unconscious. This guy that shot Jean-Luc, he's like, Jean-Luc is dying, and shot him.
So
Right.
basically, if we're trying to incapacitate but not kill somebody, we can just wail on
Just
them.
keep wailing on them
Yeah,
until
do
they
as
go
much damage
until
as
they
we
drop.
can, and then
Right.
we get to decide whether or not they die.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Oh, that was convenient. Okay. Proceed.
Yeah. Okay, Jean-Luc.
All right. So we all have let's see. All right, just thinking about it intelligently. Only 2 of us left in this round have ranged. Well, 4 of us have ranged weapons. So Jane, me, the kid, Ernie, and Pana may also. We all have ranged weapons to try to take care of the man with the longbow.
I don't have all I've got is a quarterstaff.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I don't have a sling or anything.
I think that, as much as I would like to go after, oh, you have a sling.
yeah,
Oh, she's a sling. Okay, sorry.
not very good at it.
Oh,
But
well. So, I take through my Starfleet training, I know that 1 enemy is better than 2. So knowing that the one closest to me is more damaged, I fire at him again with a renewed sense of rage.
Great.
arrow sticking out of your neck.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
Do I have it?
That's all right. That's all right.
And then hope that everybody else can take care of the longbow.
Rage.
Rage!
20 again.
Rage. 20.
Ooh,
Was that a nat 20?
Yeah. Yeah.
ooh,
Nice.
nice. So you can do the same thing you did last time if you want to spend
I've
a
got another
spell.
slot,
Yeah,
right? Yes.
you've
I
got
do.
one more. You want to
Yes.
do that?
Yes. Fuck this guy. All right.
Okay. You're gonna roll 6 8-sided dice.
Six
Oh.
8-sided dice.
Yeah, because on a critical, you double all of your dice.
Oh wow. Okay. So it's an 8-sided.
Yeah. That's a different one.
8.
Oh my
Rage.
god.
Rage against the dying of the light.
Oh,
And he starts
God.
quoting literature. 8.
Putting Dylan at this guy.
Okay.
4. It's 20.
20.
3.
Yeah, I'll count how many you've done.
6. So that's 26. 31.
One more.
37. Don't I have another one?
No, you got 6. That was your 6th one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. 37.
Fine. It's more than enough. So what does this look like when you hit this guy center of mass with the phaser and all that energy behind it?
Stun. It's on stun.
Okay.
Regrettably.
So it blasts him and he freezes up. He gets hurled back against a little stunted tree and he slides to the ground, utterly out of it. Wow, nice. That was a good round. Okay, guy with the bow is gonna shoot Jean-Luc again because you look dangerous.
Damn it.
First attack misses. Second attack hits. And you're injured, Jean-Luc. Take 7. So you take 7 points of damage. Same thing. This arrow takes you in the side of the chest, and blood spurts out. You go down unconscious. 0 hit points.
I just fixed that.
Okay, Tana is going to do her magic thing again. Misses. Ernie is going to sling at the longbow guy. Actually, no. Ernie's pretty weak. Misses. Jane. Be frivolous with all those spell slots.
Maybe I
Huh?
should have let Jane go after.
Oh.
Ugh.
All right. Okay, so once you use the healing potion, is that gone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a one-time use. Yeah. So.
Okay, so I just need to take that off.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Jane.
Yeah, but you go after I do, so I need to find something useful to do with myself right now.
Yeah.
I have this ring of shielding,
Uh-huh.
and what is my speed is 30. How far away is the longbow guy?
He's about 50 feet away.
50?
50. And he's on top of a boulder.
Yeah, so difficult terrain and or I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to find something that I can do.
Uh-huh.
What? Remind me what Mage Hand does.
That creates like a hand that can pick up like
And-
5 and 10 pound things.
What's my range?
That's a good question.
What?
30 feet. So you could move and get close enough to do something mage handy to him. You
Yeah.
could like distract him, be like patting him on the forehead or something.
I got a plan. You never you mind. Okay, so
Okay.
I got and then so ring of shielding. Do I just does that just act as a shield?
Exactly.
For
That's
me.
to protect you. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of like hold my hand with the ring up, sort of to protect myself. I'm just gonna move 30 feet, like as close as I can get
Okay.
to him.
Okay. Do you want to take a dash action then as well to get right next to him?
How does that work?
So instead of taking an action, you take movement.
Okay,
So you always get 30 feet of movement.
I
And then if
see.
you want to,
But then
if
that
you
can
want
be
to,
my action as well.
yes, exactly. And
Gotcha.
then if you also want to move.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna try to get as close to him as I can.
Okay. You basically get up to the base of the boulder that he's on. So you
Okay.
can try scrambling it up the next round.
Okay, cool. So I do that.
Okay, Claire.
Well, I have to save Jean-Luc.
Well, I mean, am I gonna die if I'm not saved this
No,
round?
so every round you roll a d20, and
Okay.
if it's 1 through 10, that's a fail, and if it's 11 and higher, that's a success. You only die after 3 fails. So you've
Okay.
got at least a couple of rounds while you're bleeding out.
Okay. Perfect. Then-
Right, don't heal me then.
No, then forget it. I'm gonna go to the guy with the stones and grab him.
Okay,
Wow.
what are you gonna do with him? He's unconscious.
I want to put him in my bag and save him.
But we need to get rid of this longbow guy.
Yeah, but he's distracted.
So he's unconscious. The sorcerer guy's unconscious, and he's stable. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You really don't think I should grab these? Okay.
No, he's gonna be
What
fine.
Jane will call down. Claire, dear, we really do have a more pressing problem that I believe that gentleman will keep for a bit.
We'll keep. All right. The sacred flame. Could I do that again?
Yes, yeah, you can do that as many times as you want.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, great. That's a dexterity saving throw on my part, which he fails. You know, you've got a really good dexterity. So roll your d8 damage.
Found it. Sorry, it's my bad. I'm sorry, it's my fault.
His butt took it. Oh. Okay, it's just a 5.
It's a flat.
It's a 4.
4? I
Yeah.
mean, that's a pretty average roll on a d8.
Mhm.
Okay, you.
Oh, no, we didn't do an 8.
Sorry, that was a D20.
Yeah, sorry. We're
Oh.
dumb. We're dumb. 7.
Oh, okay, wow. Okay, you call down this flash of fiery light on this longbow guy, and it scores across him, hurting him obviously. Okay, sorcerer's unconscious and stable. Lorelei.
Okay, so how's the guy doing?
Yeah, so the guy that you were fighting is unconscious.
Right.
Now there's the guy who's up on this boulder that's shooting down arrows at you guys.
We still haven't taken care of him yet.
Correct.
Okay. And he's conscious and attacking us.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's 50 feet away and up on this boulder. So if you wanted to get there and try to scramble up it this round, if you wanted to get close to him, or if you want to get close enough to throw one of your daggers, you could do that.
Can I use my charisma to distract him?
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
Something clever.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to engage him and just see if I can get him to tell us why he's attacking us.
Got it. Okay. Great.
I was just very entertained by the idea, and I don't think it would be out of character for Lorelai to just go, something clever.
Exactly right. What's that over there?
Okay. Why don't you roll your persuasion, which you have a pretty high skill in.
Okay. 5, and then I add it to persuasion.
Great.
7, 5 and 7, so that's 12.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's in the heat of combat, and you say you're like, hey, why are you attacking us? And in answer, he like just knocks another arrow and draws it back.
Perfect.
Okay, Jean-Luc, you are unconscious, so roll your d20. Five. Okay, you have one failed.
Crap.
One failed death saving throw. I should also add, for clarity, if you roll a 1, that counts as 2 fails. So if on the off chance you roll a 1 next round, you are, Jean-Luc will be full dead.
Great.
Claire,
Can
you
go have a
also
beer.
you have a cantrip, this spare the dying cantrip. If you don't want to, I mean, you could just heal him, but you also spare the dying basically automatically stabilizes him. Just as an FYI. Okay, bad guy. You guys have been injuring him. You took down his guy. Jane's at the base of the rock. So he slides down the back of the rock. And Jane, you hear some mumbling. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Oh, good. I'm good at that. 16 plus 5, 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, this guy is casting a spell. You think that it is a spell to keep him hidden from enemies.
Spell to keep him hidden from.
Okay, Tana and Ernie, they don't see any targets, so they're just going to hang out. Jane.
Okay. So how far away is he from me now?
So he's on the other side of the boulder. The boulder is like 10 feet in diameter.
Okay. Well, okay. Similar to Lorelai's strategy of just trying to distract him, I'm going to message him
Okay.
and say, now really, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Why don't we all just put down our weapons and try to kill each other like civilized people? No, I don't say that. I say, now really, can we all just talk about this like civilized human beings?
Okay. So you are going to need to get him in line of sight. It's blocked.
Oh.
A foot of stone will block it.
Boo. Okay, I try to just, I guess I just scramble over the rock to try to follow him then.
Okay. You can go around the rock.
Around the rock?
Yeah,
Okay.
because it looks like he went off the back of it.
Okay, yeah, so I go around, it's
Okay.
whatever seems to be the most efficient.
Okay. Give me a perception check, if you would.
Okay. 18.
Okay. You go around the back of the rock and you don't see anybody here.
So I probably think that spell was successful,
Uh-huh.
right? And do I see his longbow?
You do not.
I just take my quarterstaff and I just start swinging.
Start swinging. Okay. Roll with disadvantage.
Swing at nothing.
Yep.
That's a 22.
Yep.
All right. Okay. 13 and 8. Bless you. So yeah, 8.
8. Okay. All right. You're swinging your staff around. You do not connect with anything.
Okay.
Claire.
So at this point, I'm a little bit worried about him.
Jean-Luc.
So I kind of feel like, well, I guess at this point, since the man in gray is now probably gone, I can probably just focus on healing him.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to cast Cure Wounds?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 1d8 plus your wisdom bonus.
12.
12. How'd you get 12?
Because it's 5 for wisdom. And I rolled a 7.
3. You have a +3 to your wisdom.
Oh.
Your wisdom saving throw is +5.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
So it's a 10.
So 10. But because you have that Disciple of Life, you did actually do 12 because that gives you 2 more. So, okay. So Jean-Luc, once again, you are jerked back from the edge of unconsciousness and death by this healing and wake up. Now you've got this arrow in your neck and this arrow in your chest. They don't hurt that much, but they're still sticking out of you.
I feel like that squirrel.
Oh, God.
Okay, this guy's unconscious. Okay, Lorelai, you don't see any enemies at this point.
I mean, so Claire already healed him, so there's nothing I can do with my potion of healing to help him.
It would help, but it's probably not necessary.
Okay. Okay, save it in case somebody else is
Maybe
in
better
trouble
save,
again.
right? Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm wondering now if we should take some of my rope and tie up the gem guy so that if he, when he wakes up, he won't be able to hurt us again.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you guys don't see any enemies unless you're gonna pursue in combat. We can cycle out of combat.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I.
Okay, yeah,
about
so the guy
that.
with the longbow makes his escape. You guys have tied up this this guy with the green gemstones. So this guy, I already showed you his picture. He's got stooped over. He has a staff on him, a sling. He has 3 of these green gemstones, and he also has metallic bracers, which are like armor on your forearm.
Okay, let's take those off.
Lorelai, you go ahead and tie him up. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check to see how good your knots are.
Oh,
10. And do I add it or
Yes, you
sleight
add
of
your
hand
sleight
is
of hand.
+4, 10 + 4, 14.
Okay, great. Yeah, so you tie him up reasonably snugly. He's still unconscious because he's at 0 hit points. So you can either wait. I guess you could use your healer's kit on him, Claire, or you can use magical healing.
yeah, let's do magical healing's probably faster.
The healer's kit actually is just fine.
Okay, then let's yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like bandages and poultices and all that kind of stuff. Okay, you get to work on your healer's kit. Tana looks at you and says, your spell is just fading. She says, okay, thanks, bye. I'm going to go back to my house.
Wow.
Fair enough.
She heads off into the mountains.
Hey,
Well, we
good.
have something to distract us now, so I suppose that's fine.
Might be all we're looking for anyway.
Jane is looking very disgruntled that the person she was trying to engage has gotten away, mostly because she wanted 2 people to interrogate and now she only has 1. So she's like, all right, well, shall we wait until this one wakes up, or shall we do something to speed his?
Claire's like putting
Oh, she's
bandages
already
on
doing that,
and doing all that. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, well, now we have someone to try to get some answers from.
Okay. So you guys rouse him. He wakes up and kind of looks around and he jerks at the knots and is unable to get free. And he's just scowling at you.
Now, really, what is all this nonsense about?
Let me go. Let me go.
Could
Sorry,
I-
guy, but we have some things we need to ask you, so you just better sit tight.
The first of which is, would your name happen to be Noah Gill?
Yeah. What of it? Who are you? You're those meddling out-of-towners, aren't you?
Not meddling in anything.
Wasn't it his wife who was an out of towner?
No, that was Connor's.
Oh, Connor's wife. So sorry.
Where is Connor?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What
What were you doing up here, Noah?
Just minding my business.
what
I
are-
think evidence would suggest the contrary of that.
Huh.
Kind of frowns and looks around. Look, it wasn't my fault. It was all Connor's doing.
What did Connor tell you or make you do?
Connor said if I helped him get the green gemstones, he'd get me whatever I wanted. Fame, glory, girls.
Noah,
Skeptical looks all around.
Noah, what exactly did you do for Connor,
I did whatever he told me to.
including murder?
Them folks were old. Nobody would miss them.
Oh,
Did you push Albin off the cliff?
He wouldn't give me his gemstone. I offered him a fair price for it.
Did you take it off him after you killed him?
It was mine.
Is it yours or are you going to give it to Connor?
Yeah, I had to give it to Connor eventually.
What were you doing up here today? Getting more, was it just getting more of the gemstones or did you have something else you needed to do?
Now we were looking for more of the stones.
How many does he want?
As many as he can get. He's got some use for them.
You don't know what that is?
He never told me. He just said he'd get them.
And why do you want it so bad? Just because he promised you everything?
Yeah, I've been beaten down my whole life. Been working the shores, dragging these big crates, and look at all it got me. Nothing. I want money and fancy things.
What makes you think Connor can give that to you?
I look at the gemstones of power it's given me already.
What power has it given you?
He kind of raises his bound hands, and little like little static electricity, like green light, kind of sparks from them.
That's probably radioactivity.
Where did the green gems come from here in the mountains? We know where you found them in the town.
They come from up on the big gray peak. They come out and roll into cracks and crevices.
Where is Connor now?
Don't know. Must have run off.
Where do you normally meet him?
He was leading me around. We were scouting about. I don't know where he might have gone now.
Was that Connor who shot Jean-Luc?
He's a good shot with the longbow.
Great.
So Noah, did Connor say anything about what these green gems could do? What kind of power do they give people?
Well, I studied them and look what I can do.
Could they bring someone back from the dead?
I don't know about that.
Do you know what caused the earthquake earlier? Was that something you had to do with?
No, but that's what causes the release of the gems.
How did you know to be up here at that time?
That was good coincidence, wasn't it?
How often does it happen?
Maybe a few times a month, a few times a month maybe. You don't always get the gemstones released though, just sometimes.
So it has to do something with Connor's wife.
So just between us, Claire and I bring the group away from Noah and
Yeah, of
discuss
course.
this.
Okay.
Perhaps while keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
Maybe Ernie goes over and kicks him.
Yeah, Ernie's keeping an eye out on him.
Yeah.
As what Claire mentioned, I can't help but think that maybe Connor, distraught by the death of his wife and the need to support his son, is looking for a way to maybe bring his wife back. I mean, she was an outsider like us. Maybe these gems could do something, or maybe she wasn't killed at all.
Right,
but went
not
home.
really dead. Yeah.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if his plan is something along those lines. It sounds to me as though he has lied to Noah to get him to acquire the gems for him by apparently any means necessary, not seeming to care how many people are hurt in the process.
Well, and I hate to be the one to bring this up now, but if we have extra gems at the end of all this, maybe we could get home too.
That's a good point.
It's not the worst idea.
Well, before we question further, I would propose us getting back to Hamlet as soon as possible.
Yeah, we need to take him with us, don't we?
We
Yeah.
need to bring him back to our delightful sheriff.
Oof.
And
How strong are all of us? Like, I know we're not strong individually, Do we think that if Jean-Luc stuns this guy at point blank range again, we could carry him back between the four of us?
Instead of letting, I mean, the easiest thing is to let him walk on his own power, but if you want to knock him out and carry him, yeah, I mean, you can probably rig up a sling or a litter or something.
I'm just thinking about whether he'd come. I mean, I know we've gotten tied up. I guess we could tie him up such that he doesn't have to come willingly, but he does come.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
worry about us being, I guess that is a good point. I'd worry about us being caught off guard by a creature or Connor on the way back.
So yeah, him coming under his own power, that seems fine then.
Yeah. That's, there's a possibility of that happening, whether we have him with us or not. So
Fine.
I guess we might as well try.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do quite agree, Captain Picard. It seems that we should bring him back to the proper authorities.
Ugh, I just hate the idea of him with that sheriff, but
What other choice do we have? The sheriff was the one who asked us to help.
maybe I could give him like a nice sleeping potion and keep him knocked out for a couple days once we get him there.
Yeah, it's definitely within your skill set. Okay, so the stuff that he has on him, so the 3 green gemstones, what are you guys gonna do with those?
Oh, pocket him.
Yeah, I think each in a different each one should go to someone different, I think.
Okay, so who's gonna take them?
I'm fine. You 3 take them.
Okay.
Okay, clear little line, Jean-Luc. And then what about his bracers, the armor that he had
Take them
on?
off.
Oh yeah.
Take them off.
Okay, does
You
anybody is anybody gonna take those?
Yeah, I kind of feel like, I mean, I have clearly no weapon ability, but you are attacked so often that I kind of feel like maybe you should have some.
I've got plenty actually. I've got chainmail already. I don't know if the braces would do much more.
Wonder Woman?
Say that, Liz, you were quiet.
Do they have power like Wonder Woman?
Yeah, we can't hear you, Liz.
Oh,
Or you're very, very, very faint.
Yeah.
very, very, very faint. I wonder
Did you
why.
leave your audio somewhere else?
Let's see. Yeah.
Mm. Oh, that's
Checking
weird.
1, 2.
There. Well, that was
Feel
better.
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
quiet
still
though.
quieter than you were.
So, okay.
So weird.
Yeah, I had to plug into the power, so maybe.
It's almost like a different microphone's picking you up or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try this.
Plug into the.
You're due to your microphone. What is
Ah, there you go.
Better. Much better.
Oh, wait, let me check this too. Select microphone. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
Okay, that's good.
Let's see. Tell it.
It's probably trying to use the microphone in my head.
Oh, you're gone again.
And
Okay,
There you go.
we're back.
yeah, I had to tell it. It was probably trying to use the microphone in my headset.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So-
Okay, so we're trying to decide what to do with
So
the.
was I saying something? I was saying.
Are they Wonder Woman like?
Oh, are they Wonder Woman like?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, well then forget you. I mean, Lorelai, do you have any weapon or protective gear?
I have leather armor.
Hmm.
I don't have any armor, but I do have that ring of shielding.
Yeah, it seems like Lorelai is the most common person that's stabbing people.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
These are like they're like a protection.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Well, if nobody wants them, I'll put them on.
You should.
Okay. Okay, so they add 1 to your armor class or a Lorelei, so makes it harder for you to get hit. And then there's also the staff that Noah had. Let's see if I get a picture of it here.
Pictures.
No. It's a long staff. There you go. Okay. It has pretty elegant, pretty ornate designs on it. Jane, you look at it and it looks clearly magical.
Ooh, nice. Does anybody have skill with staves besides myself?
No, go for it.
Skill with staffs? No, I don't think so.
Yeah, like I've got staffs under my my proficiencies.
I think technically everybody can use a staff because it's one of the simplest things that
Yeah.
you know how to use.
It's-
Yeah, but as a consequence, it is one of the few things that you know how to use
Right.
because you're a wizard. You're not supposed to be beating people with big sticks.
But I always carry things. Okay, yeah, so I guess I hang on to that
Okay.
if nobody else has a compelling reason to want it.
Okay, this is a staff of striking,
Aren't they all?
but it's magic.
That's
This is my non-striking staff.
And may I say, very striking.
No.
Oh my god, Louis.
I spoke about pointers earlier.
Okay, so you guys relieve Noah of his valuables, and you're going to march him back to Hamlet.
Think so.
Mark it back.
Swiftly.
All right, great. You guys make it back to Hamlet without further disruption. Ernie's able to guide you safely. So it doesn't take too terribly long. You get back probably late afternoon, about 4 o'clock or so. So what are you going to do with Noah?
I mean, I guess we got to march him over to the
Sheriff.
sheriff.
Right.
I think we also send Ernie off to, who's the other, there's like the councilman or like there's another person who's kind of in charge in the town as well.
Yes, hang on.
Yeah.
Councilman Bailey.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we send Ernie to run off and find Councilman Bailey, and
Bring him over to the sheriff's office.
I think so. Yeah. Meet us over at the sheriff's office.
Got it. Okay, great. Okay, you guys march Noah up to Sheriff Jenkins, kind of scowling as you guys enter the little office that he holds. Looks up. What's this now?
We tell him the story without going into, without having to dictate it.
We need your
Okay.
best jail cell.
Okay. He scowls. He says, "We don't have a jail cell."
Where do you keep the people who've done wrong?
We got a closet. We keep it locked.
Oh. Fantastic.
What would we have done if we managed to capture both of them?
There's not a lot of crime requiring locking people up. In his house.
So Jean-Luc rolls his eyes and he looks to everyone and he says, what did they expect would happen when we actually accomplished our goal? What system of justice does this place even have? Almost makes me wonder if they wanted us to catch the murderer.
They didn't think we would, so that's why they sent us
Didn't think that far.
after him.
I say to the sheriff, well, I'm sure you're very eager to interrogate Mr. Gill here. We've sent young Ernie after the councilman. We have some information from him, but I'm sure you want to hear it all yourself. And I'm sure you'll also be very happy for us to sit and get any other information out of that you managed to acquire. And basically she's just like, look, you're not doing a proper job.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to tell you what to do, but in my very English way about
yeah,
it.
you can do persuasion or intimidation.
Ooh, let's see what I can do better at. Oh, they're both the same. Miss Marple, the famously intimidating person. 16?
Okay, Sheriff Jenkins kind of scowls and says, "Okay, you have a seat there." A few minutes later, Councilman Bailey comes in with Ernie. Ernie says, "I'm gonna go check in with my mom," and he takes off.
Thanks, Ernie.
Helpful today, Ernie, thank you.
Well, it didn't hit anything.
Councilman Bailey comes in. He has a whispered conversation with the sheriff. He comes over to you and says, "Thank you, thank you." So Noah's the one who is responsible for all this horribleness?
Well, not completely.
Mhm.
He was essentially the henchman for Connor, who's still out and at large.
Oh dear. Oh well. You all look a bit the worse for wear. Why don't
Do
you
I?
why don't you go have Lexi take care of your dinner, and the sheriff and I will deal with this Noah character.
What does how will you be dealing with him, Councilman?
Well, we'll have to send him to the regional court when their judge comes riding through in the next week or so.
Oh,
Okay, that's a good kind of justice. All right.
in a week or so.
Well, he's in.
But we'll need to talk. We'll talk tomorrow. We'll need to talk about what to do about Connor.
Okay.
Well, I for one am exhausted and need.
You've still got an arrow sticking out of your neck and your chest. Like, Claire hasn't dealt with the actual. You're feeling okay, but you're walking around with this.
I wanted to rip it out earlier, but I thought it was premature.
It's getting the weirdest looks from people.
Shades of both Saint Sebastian and Boromir.
Right. Thank you. I didn't know
Um,
Saint Sebastian, but Boromir. Yes.
yeah. Okay. I would like to do a perception check to see, or an insight, or wait, probably perception.
What do you want to know? And I'll let you know.
Okay. I want to get the sense of if we do what they're suggesting and leave these guys to interrogate.
Mhm.
Noah, if we're going to either miss important information or if they're possibly, if they
Yeah.
probably have some kind of nefarious thing
They
going
got an
on.
agenda. Okay, got it.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly.
All right, go ahead and roll your insight.
Okay, so we decided insight, so that's 13.
Okay. You should really have Lorelai be doing all these, or Claire.
What if I suggest it to them?
all these wisdom-based charisma things. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not sure. You actually think Sheriff Jenkins probably, who knows what that man would do, but Councilman Bailey seems on the up and up. And you think that as long as he's on site, that Noah will be okay. And you think that Bailey will tell you any information that they get that you don't have already.
All right, so then I allow myself to be persuaded to go have some dinner. I do suggest that we check on young Jack, and
At
He's-
Connors? Is that Jack? Who's Jack?
Jack is Connor's son. Yes,
So-
precisely. The young man is at best home alone, and at worst home in a place at the home of a desperate man who might come back. And
So, Jane, as much as I admire what you're trying to do, I can't help but think that maybe tonight is not the best night to be so charitable, and perhaps we try in the morning.
He says as the arrow is like wiggling as he's making this plea.
All right. So I'll go over to him and I'll at least break off the pieces so there's just a little bit extended so I can peel it properly when we start, okay? So you no longer have anything sticking out that far.
Amazing.
all right, fine. If everyone's all right with leaving the abandoned son of a criminal of Home Alone. I guess we can do that.
Check him in the morning.
Okay, you guys head back to the daisy chain. Lexi, tisks all over you, the blood on your, clothes and everything. She washes it. You get Jean-Luc all patched up. You guys have a nice, refreshing dinner. You kind of chit chat about what all has transpired. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about that you haven't already about the events of the day or what you've learned?
No, but maybe we can go make a plan tomorrow to go and check on Connor's son
Okay, great.
and assess that situation now that we know a little bit more about Connor.
Yeah, and decide what to do. Do we go back in the woods? I mean, Connor is a very dangerous person.
Do we call DFACS? I don't know.
We go after Connor, we have to be very prepared too,
Well, keep in mind that Connor wants all the green gems he can, and he's mad at us. So we can't just be chill.
The gems might also be making him more powerful.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe we should go in disguise
Hmm.
so that he doesn't recognize us. If he does see us again. No, we're for other people.
Yeah. Great.
I mean, that's definitely up your alley, Lorelai. You could definitely make that happen.
Yeah, I would say if there's to go after him to see if there's some way that we can disguise the way we look.
That's a great idea.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
so that that'll just protect us a little bit more, and bring more weapons.
Hmm.
Get you another dagger.
Yep.
Yeah, replace my dagger.
Right.
Hey, okay, great. Let's call it there.